Hey Center Valley, I want to talk to you about a topic that I get asked about a lot, and that is what are some mistakes that sellers make when listing their home for sale that actually negatively impact the outcome of the sale of their property? Believe it or not, overpricing your house is not the number one mistake that I see. The number one mistake that I actually see is not preparing and positioning your home prior to listing it on the market. And I talk about this concept a lot of a cold launch, which is when your house is just on the market all of a sudden with no preparation, positioning, and marketing strategy done leading up to that launch. So I have a few materials here that I want to go over with you because this concept ties into my most recent postcard that was sent out, which talks about why some homes within the township sell for more money than other homes within the township. And there are neighborhood versions of this card that I sent out as well. If you live in Sunrise Valley or Valley Green, you have your own dedicated postcard with your own resources on your own website. This one here is specifically for Upper Saucon Township. So, talking about positioning and preparation, on the back I have 4 different categories, and I did that to sort of break it down to make it easier to understand. And I want to go over these 4 categories with you. So, preparation, that's number 1. Small repairs, staging, photography, and timing. These influence buyer perception before the first showing. So what does this mean? Or what does it look like? This is when I walk through your house with you and give you suggestions on what you should do to get it ready for the market. Now, I will give you a list in priority order. If there's anything that's essential that needs to be done, I will make sure I discuss those things with you. And then there will be other things that I would recommend doing, but if you don't do them, it's okay. It depends on what your time frame is. Some sellers like to just sell as is. They want a quick sale, and other sellers are have more time and are fine with doing everything that is recommended. So what I'm going to do is I'll make you suggestions, but we're going to tailor that specifically for your current position and what your needs are as a seller, so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, because that could start to add up and feel overwhelming very quickly, and we don't want that. Moving is stressful enough. The goal is not to overwhelm you, it's just to get the house ready and in optimal position before the launch, because some of these things that I'm going to go over with you are going to affect how buyers perceive your house before they ever even look at it. Another thing, positioning. And this goes back to that first week on the market and also the pre-market. So your home being positioned is how it's introduced to the market. How your home is introduced to the market matters, because that's going to affect the outcome of the first 7 days on the market. And those 7 days are crucial. If you've watched my other videos, I go into depth on that topic. Those 7 days are really going to help determine the outcome of the sale of your house. So the way you position before launch is what actually makes the buyer reaction happen, and that's crucial for that first 7 days on the market, because you want to build a hype. You want buyers to be excited about your listing. If buyers are not excited, your listing is going to sit and it's going to become stale, eventually leading to price reductions and all of those other issues that we always talk about. So positioning, very, very important. And once again, positioning specifically is how your house compares to other active, under contract, and recently sold houses on the market, because buyers are looking at several different properties, and they're directly going to compare your house to these other properties. And you want them to feel like your house makes sense, and you want them to feel excited about it. If they feel like your house has a lot less upgrades and is priced significantly higher, that's going to affect their perception. They're going to say, well, that's not a good deal. I'm not really interested in going to look at that. Or maybe I'll look at it, but I'm not really going to move forward on it. You don't want that reaction. You want them to look at your house overall, all the features it has, along with pricing, and you want them to form a positive perception so that they're excited about it, and that's what's really going to drive a successful first 7 days on the market. The next category, pricing, which we sort of just touched on. So pricing your home is very important. Obviously, overpricing is a mistake that a lot of sellers make, Overpricing does not leave you room to negotiate. That's the number one thing I want you to take away from the pricing conversation. Most sellers feel like, oh, well, if I shoot high, I could just come down. And I've talked about this before too. That is not an effective strategy. Because what actually ends up happening most times in that scenario, you end up selling the house for less money. When you're priced correctly to begin with, you get the buyer response that you're looking for, and most times you end up with more money than if you price high to begin with. It sounds very counterintuitive, but it is the truth. Do not overprice your house. It's going to have a negative effect on your listing. It's going to cost you more money in the long run. And the next category, which is really important, and this is one where I actually feel that a lot of listings are lacking in this area, and that's presentation. And the presentation sort of plays directly into that preparation we were just talking about, but it's also marketing. And I see a lot of listings on the MLS that I feel are not presented in the best possible light. And your listing needs to be presented correctly so that buyers want to actually come look at it. Because buyers do their shopping online before anything else. And you want your listing to make an impact and to stand out and for them to remember it. And a big part of that is the media. So professional photography, video, 3D tours, all that stuff. It's really important. And then also having a marketing plan so that we're getting those materials in front of the right buyers. Visibility is not the same thing as getting it in front of the right buyers. I would rather your house be in front of 100 actual buyers in the Saucon Valley market that are qualified than to have it go viral and get 7,000 views from people that are across the country and not a real buyer. So presentation directly affects how buyers perceive your house and whether or not they are going to schedule that tour, and it's real, or come to the open house. And it's really important to get them through the door. So presentation, very important. Make sure your photography is good. I talk about this a lot. There are way too many listings that the photography is no good, the listing description is no, or maybe it's good, but it's not optimal. It's not the best that it can be. And you want to present your house in the best possible light. Very, very important topic. So if you want more resources, you want to learn more about these 4 categories that I just discussed with you, check out my website, nickgsellspa.com. Check out my other YouTube videos. You could also subscribe to my channel. I'm always posting new content. And just quickly before I go, I want to talk about my Upper Saucon Seller's Guide, which I also mentioned last week. Go to my website, nickgsellspa.com. Get a copy of this. It's a PDF copy. It's free. You can download it. You can look through it right on the website. You don't have to put your information to have access to it. Take a look at it. Flip through it. There's a lot of really good information in here for Upper Saucon sellers. And like I always say, it doesn't matter if you're planning to sell your house right now or not. Check this out. It has a lot of good information, and it's just a really good resource. And I designed it specifically for the current Upper Saucon Township market. So this applies to, if you're a homeowner in Upper Saucon, this applies to you and what we're seeing in the market right now in this particular area. So definitely check that out. And just to do a quick recap, what are the mistakes that sellers make before listing their house on the market besides overpricing? Preparation, positioning, pricing, presentation. Those are the 4 main areas that I'm going to walk you through as a listing agent to optimize for the best possible launch and ultimately achieve you the best possible result for your house.